Good afternoon and welcome to RMU Live. I'm John Blinn.
And I'm Sonu Babu. Here's what's happening now.
Federal offices will be closed today as a result of Columbus Day. Most banks and credit unions have been closed for the day, and post offices will not be delivering mail.
Columbus Day is celebrated on the second Monday of every year in honor of the Italian explorer who landed in the Americas. The first celebration took place 300 years later in New York when a group of leaders held a celebration for the explorer.
One man was taken to the hospital after a shooting in Homewood. Police responded to a shot spotter notification at approximately 11 p.m. Sunday night. Shots were fired at the 7700th block on Frankstown Avenue. Upon arrival, authorities found a man with a gunshot wound in his abdomen. The man is currently in critical but stable condition. Police are currently still investigating, and there is no word on a suspect at this time.
One person was hospitalized Sunday night in North Braddock. Officers were called to the scene at 9 p.m. on Grandview Avenue in Bauer Street. Police have not yet disclosed the injury.
A boil water advisory has been issued for several neighborhoods in the Pittsburgh area. Crews responded to a 16-inch water main break Saturday afternoon. The main break took place on the 300th block of Virginia Avenue at around 3:30 p.m. Water began rushing into a nearby funeral home, filling it with 6 inches of water. The water has been shut off, and an advisory is in effect for Ridgemont, Westwood, and Elliott. A complete map for the boil water advisory is available on the Pittsburgh Water and Sewage Authority's website.
And Pittsburgh school districts are working on confiscating dangerous items. Administrators are worried about jewels, vape pens, and cell phones. Canon Macmillan High School is confiscating vapes for health concerns, even for students who are not around it but do not vape. School districts are encouraging parents to talk about vaping concerns. And tuition rates for private schools in Pittsburgh are increasing at a fast pace, but school districts are trying to combat this for more affordable education. Kiski School in Westmoreland County is shifting to a philanthropy-centered model to fundraise for more scholarships. The tuition rate right now is about $61,000, but will drop to about $48,000 next year. The school hopes to bring in more diversity with lowering costs.
A 16-year-old girl was taken into custody after she assaulted 4 state troopers. The assault took place in Washington Township, Indiana County, on Saturday evening. The girl was from Homer City and was charged and placed at a juvenile facility after the assault. It is unclear if any of the officers, including 1 woman and 3 men, sustained any injuries during the assault.
Residents were evacuated from a Hotel Indigo in East Liberty. Evacuations began on Sunday morning after water began leaking from the building ceiling. The hotel's crews are still working to determine the cause of the leak. It was initially believed that the leaking came from a water pipe, but it was later determined that this was not related to the incident.
A house fire in Newcastle has resulted in the death of an elderly woman. Fire crews responded to reports of large amounts of smoke coming from a home at around 2 p.m. Sunday afternoon. The fire took place on the 1700th block of Gretchen Avenue. Authorities are still investigating the cause of the fire. Investigators are blaming an extension cord for a deadly daycare fire in Pennsylvania. They say the cord, which was used routinely, caused an electrical failure that started the blaze in Erie Sunday morning. Officials said the fire killed 5 children between 8 months and 8 years old. They include 4 siblings whose mom left them at the facility so she could work the overnight shift. The daycare was located in a private home that investigators say had only 1 smoke detector. They said if there had been more detectors in the home, at least some of the victims would have survived. The investigators concluded that the blaze was an accident.
Governor Tom Wolf has announced that he has an official plan to raise Pennsylvania's minimum wage to $12 an hour. The plan is set to be discussed on October 23rd when the Pennsylvania General Assembly reconvenes. If passed, Wolf anticipates that the minimum wage gap would be increased by 50 cents each year until it reaches $15 an hour. Pennsylvania's minimum wage has not been raised in 10 years and has the lowest pay rate out of all its neighboring states.
Over 3,000 Mack truck workers launched a strike at the plants in 3 states. The United Automobile Workers Union began picketing Sunday morning at the Lehigh Valley Logistics Center outside Allentown in Magonie, PA. Along with Pennsylvania workers also went on strike in Maryland and Florida. The union has several issues with wages, job security, as well as pension and health benefits.
October is the time for the Hunter's Moon in the Northern Hemisphere. The Hunter's Moon will bring early evening moonrises, and this full moon after the Harvest Moon in September is set to illuminate the prey of hunters. The full moon will be visible on the east side as the sun goes down. And as it gets colder, Andrew Ostrowski is in the studio to tell us more. Andrew, what do you have for us?
How do? Today it's a high of 87. I don't think that's right. Maybe 60, but a low of 69 degrees. Thursday we're going to have some rain showers with, I doubt, a high of 85, maybe a low of 52. Friday it's going to be partly cloudy, high of 59, low of 43 degrees. That's very reasonable. Saturday it's going to be sunny with a high of 65 and a low of 60. And Sunday you're going to have partial clouds with a high of 68 and a low of 50. Let's go back to the desk with Sonu and John Blinn.
Thank you, Andrew. And coming up next, we have an update on RMU News, and Greg Sutton will be in the studio to give us the latest on Pittsburgh sports. Stay tuned.
Hey, Dad. I need your help asking Jessica to prom.
Of course. Love is like the ocean. You have to tread the
Oh,
waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Hey, Jessica. Will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. This guy, no, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out?
Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Welcome back to RMU Live. Robert Morris University is asking for your opinion on the campus as a workplace. The university will be launching a survey known as the Viewfinder to learn more about campus experiences. Results will measure how safe, welcome, and valued and respected RMU employees feel. The survey will be sent out today, and employees are encouraged to watch their emails for a message from member@surveymonkeyyuser.com, which will provide a link to the survey. Participation is voluntary, and results will be 100% confidential.
And today is the first day of Wellness Week. Various events are coming up this week. Resources on campus includes My Health at School Center and the RMU Student Rec Center, among many others.
The Robert Morris University Police Department will be conducting a lockdown drill on Wednesday. The drill will take place in the Hale Center and will begin as soon as a message from the police department is sent through the RMU alert system. Those who are in the Hale Center at the time of the drill must find shelter inside the building and remain there until another message is sent ending the drill. Anyone who is outside of the Hale Center when the drill begins is warned to not attempt to enter the building until the drill is complete. Greg Sutton is in the studio to talk about Pittsburgh sports with us, so we're going to head over to Greg now.
The Steelers were on the West Coast last night to face the Los Angeles Chargers in the Sunday Night Football matchup. Undrafted duck calling champion Delvin Hodges got his first professional start. With Hodges under center, Pittsburgh was able to defeat the Chargers 24-17. James Conner paved the road to victory with 41 yards rushing and 78 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns. Next week is a bye for the roughed-up Steelers. Now in the championship series for the National and American Leagues. Let's get you all caught up on all of this. The Washington Nationals are leading the National League Championship Series 2-1, winning both of the games in St. Louis, and will play in D.C. tonight at 7:30. Last night, the Astros tied the series with a walk-off home run from Carlos Correa. They will play Yankee Stadium tomorrow at 4 p.m. And the Pittsburgh Penguins have rolled through their past 2 contests. Last night, they were up in Winnipeg to see if they could ground the Jets up there in Canada. The Flightless Birds had no problem with the Jets. The Pens won 7-2. Wilkes-Barre Scranton pull-up Sam Lafferty netted 2 goals in his 4th game and now has goals in back-to-back contests. Crystal Tang also scored his 500th career point in the NHL, the first defenseman to do so in Pittsburgh Penguins history. This past Saturday, the Riverhounds took the pitch against St. Louis Football Club. This was the Riverhounds' next-to-last regular season matchup, and they were able to defeat St. Louis FC. Their final match will be Sunday at 5:30 in Birmingham, Alabama. And now we're going to go back over the desk to Sonu and John.
And coming up after the break, a powerful typhoon hits Japan's northeast region, so stay tuned for more.
Hey, Dad. I need your help asking Jessica to prom.
Of course. Love is like the ocean. You have to tread the
Oh,
waters.
Dad. That's not the kind of help I needed. Hey, Jessica. Will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. This guy, no, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's put a ride home.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Welcome back. Japan is in recovery mode after a powerful typhoon called Hagibis lashed the country's northeast region. The storm's record-setting rain caused significant damage and left at least 31 people dead. CNN's Paula Hancock reports.
Japan is assessing the damage of its biggest storm in decades. Typhoon Hagibis made landfall on Saturday evening, leading to landslides and flooding that caused a number of fatalities, including dozens of injuries. The body of a man in his 60s was found in his flooded home in the apartment block behind me. A number of rivers in the region breached their banks, leading to widespread flooding of some houses close to those rivers. The JMA, Japan's meteorological agency, at one point said that they were seeing unprecedented amounts of rain. Now, several million people had been advised to evacuate the area. Many chose not to. They chose to hunker down. They stocked up on provisions ahead of the typhoon, leading to empty supermarket shelves. In fact, the capital city of Tokyo was much like a ghost town until Sunday morning. Now, there were many flights cancelled, also the bullet trains cancelled, local trains, and also there were 3 Rugby World Cup matches that had to be cancelled because of the storm. Now, on Sunday morning, Shinzo Abe, the Prime Minister of Japan, held an emergency meeting with his cabinet. He offered his condolences to those who had been killed or affected. And he also said that as well as the fire department, the police, the Coast Guard helping operations here, there were 27,000 members of Japan's military that were also going to be helping with the ongoing search and rescue operation. Paula Hancock's CNN, Kawasaki City, Japan.
To stay updated on more international as well as national and local news, be sure to tune in to RMU Live on Friday at 1 p.m. For the latest on sports on and off campus, join us for Sports Talk in the Berg on Wednesday at 5 p.m. and Colonial Sports Center on Wednesday at 9:30 p.m.
And coming up after the break, Carrie Underwood surprises students and Greg Sutton is back again for RMU Sports. Stay tuned.
Hey, Dad, I need your help asking. Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad, I need your help asking Jessica to prom.
Of course. Love is like the ocean. You have to tread the
Oh,
waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Hey, Jessica. Will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. This guy, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Welcome back. Not every dog can be a lifesaver like Lassie, but according to new research, owning a dog can reduce the chances of dying early. In today's Health Minute, Meredith Wood gives us more insight into what they bring to us. And Carrie Underwood surprises local high school athletes on Sunday. The country music star was in Pittsburgh for her Cry Perry Tour 360. The athletes from 5 local districts received a $100,000 check from the Dick's Sporting Goods Foundation. Each district will receive $20,000 in their support for sport programs, and the students also get Carrie Underwood tickets.
Experts from around the world gathered in Pittsburgh this weekend to participate in this year's Class Global Innovation Summit. The event was held at the Wyndham Grand Hotel in downtown Pittsburgh and featured various national speakers. Topics such as gene technology, viruses, and the health gap were all discussed at the event. The summit was sponsored by Westinghouse, who also offered a river course and admission to the Heinz History Center at a discounted price. The Pittsburgh Micromobility Collective recently hosted a convention dubbed as Mobility. The convention was established to compete with Uber and Lyft. The organization is hoping to create an all-in-one mobility hub near transit stops in order to make travel more convenient for commuters. Further innovations would include mobility as service ideas, including bike share stations, Zipcar vehicles, Waze carpool pickup spots, and parked and charged e-bike scooters from Spin, which would be available to rent. Now we're going to head over to Greg Sutton, who will give us the latest on all RMU sports. Greg?
Thanks, Sean. Robert Morris football traveled to Loretto, Pennsylvania to take on the St. Francis Red Flash. The Colonials have not defeated St. Francis since the movie Cars 2 was released. The year was 2011. The Colonials were able to defeat the Red Flash Saturday in double overtime thanks to a field goal off of Nick Biseglia's toe. And Robert Morris men's hockey team was continuing on their homestand this past weekend against Bentley. After the first weekend of the year against Michigan Tech, they came back with a vengeance and swept the weekend and won Friday 3-0 and then Saturday 4-1. They face Army at West Point in New York this Saturday and Sunday. Women's hockey team was also in action at home this past Saturday and Friday. Their opponent would be number 2 Minnesota. The Colonials dropped the first game 4-3, and then Saturday they lost the second game 6-2. Their next opponent will be Clarkson, and they will drop the puck in Colonials Arena Friday and Saturday. The men's soccer club is now in the middle of their conference campaign and faced the Bryant Bulldogs at the North Athletic Complex. The Colonials were unable to cage the Bulldogs when full time came. Bryant netted 2 goals and only allowed Robert Morris 1. Robert Morris plays again Sunday against the St. Francis Brooklyn. Women's soccer was busy this past weekend as well. They had 2 matches this past weekend. The first was Friday against Sacred Heart, and the Colonials lost 1-0. And then on Sunday, they were home again, and they were facing off against the Fairleigh Dickinson at home. And when the final horn sounded, the match ended in a draw with no goals being scored.
Help asking Jessica to prom.
Of course. Love is like the ocean. You have to tread the
Oh,
waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Hey, Jessica. Will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. This guy, no, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's put a ride home.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Welcome back to RMU Live. We're now going to head over to Andrew Ostrowski to give us the latest on your weather. Andrew.
How goes it? We're looking at a live shot of Pittsburgh right now. It looks very nice. Very minimal clouds in the sky. Nice blue sky. Nice mountains there. You know, all the 9 yards. Let's go to these graphics for weather. Today, it's going to be a high of 76 degrees and a low of 49. This morning, it was pretty chilly. Should have given your kid a jacket to go to school. Humidity is going to be at 37%, and there will be absolutely no chance of rain today. Let's go to tomorrow. Tomorrow, high of 71 degrees and a low of 57. Again, it's going to be pretty chilly in the morning, so you might want to grab a windbreaker on the way out the door. High humidity of 48%. And chance of precipitation, absolutely none. Again, it's not going to rain. Don't worry about that. Let's go to the 5-day here, man, hey? All right, Wednesday, tomorrow. Tomorrow's Tuesday, never mind. Wednesday, it's going to be a high of 64 and a low of 49 with some showers. Thursday, it's going to be partially cloudy with a high of 62 and a low of 49, kind of similar to Wednesday without the, the rain. Friday, it's going to be sunny with a high of 65 degrees and a low of 44. Saturday, partially cloudy, high of 68, low of 49. Sunday, you're going to have a high of 73. This is pretty nice, actually, and a low of 55. Sunny, great for golf, great for outdoor football. You know, just a great week overall. Just going to be chilly in the morning, so watch out for that. That's all for weather. Why don't we go back to the desk with Sonu and John?
We just received information that RMU women's hockey was ranked number 10. I know Greg's going to be happy to hear that, Sonu. Going back to that weather, I mean, RMU women's hockey doesn't have to worry about that because they play inside, but it's getting colder and they have to deal with cold temperatures. So if you're heading out to the game, you may want to have a hoodie or a jacket on when you're going from that parking lot to the arena. Sonu, what are you thinking about this weather lately? Are you prepared?
I mean, I know everyone's waiting for it to get a little chillier after it was in the 80s just in September. So yeah, we are really excited for this chilly weather, perfect for fall activities, pumpkin carving, especially Halloween. Yeah, how do you feel?
I'm excited for it. As my uncle likes to say, this is football weather, so that's one thing I always enjoy. You know, you get out there, you see a game, maybe go catch the Steelers play, hopefully win. So it's nice.
Yeah, and with October coming up, as we talked about, the Hunter's Moon, did you get to see that?
I saw it last night. The moon was looking good in Moon Township, that's all I'm going to say.
And I didn't get to see it, but it was probably amazing, and I think it's really weird that it's like getting dark at night really early right now in the evening and stuff. Yeah. And thank you for spending your afternoon with us. For more information on news, sports, and arts and entertainment, visit rmucenturymedia.com.
We will see you next week.